After Mr. L received a phone call from the taxi driver, the scene then shifted to a bus station. The taxi driver is seen smoking and Mr. L instructed him to find a new place to speak. The scene then cut to a restaurant where the taxi driver told Mr. L about his financial problems. Having taken a lot of loans and causing his family members to avoid him, the taxi driver then revealed that he needed money desperately to help his father. Mr. L saw an opportunity and offered the taxi driver money in exchange for his lifespan. He stopped time and showed the taxi driver his remaining lifespan, offering him a chance to sell his time to him. After much consideration, the taxi driver agreed to sell 3 years of his life in exchange for 1,350,000 yuan. Mr. L complimented the taxi driver's quick decision and informed him that he would be left with 10 years of lifespan. He gave him the contract and he paid him the agreed amount. After that, the taxi driver left. Later, the same sickly-looking man who was seen drunk threw the bottle of alcohol at Mr. L's feet. Mr. L, saying he looked like an abandoned dog, got threatened by him. Mr. L changed his perception of the man to that of a wolf and revealed the diagnosis he found and the time he had left. He then told the man that if he wanted to leave, he should follow him. After a few moments of hesitation, the man finally introduced himself as Peng Hao, a young man who has been diagnosed with leukemia. He explained to Mr. L that he had left his family behind and told them to pretend that he passed away. Mr. L couldn't help but find a tinge of sadness at Peng Hao's story, and he knew that he needed to help him in any way he could. As a time vendor, Mr. L had a special power that allowed him to manipulate time and prolong someone's lifespan. He decided to test Peng Hao by stopping time, and to his surprise, the young man was completely taken aback. Mr. L reassured him that everything was okay and he introduced himself as a time vendor. He explained that he could prolong Peng Hao's lifespan, but in exchange he would require his loyalty. Peng Hao eagerly accepted his offer, and Mr. L proceeded to give him 100 days worth of lifespan. Mr. L then handed Peng Hao his contact information and told him to clean up his appearance. He instructed him to cut his hair, dye it black, and come to the address he provided. With that, Mr. L disappeared into the night, leaving Peng Hao to ponder at his new life. The scene is then cut to Mr. L's house, where he was once again interrupted by his roommate. This time she appeared to be drunk, but Mr. L could see right through her act. He knew that she was trying to seduce him. She then told him he can't just hide his identity as a rich man from her. He then asked what she planned to do about it, and she responded by telling him to take 3 shots of alcohol as punishment. Mr. L's roommate drunkenly spilled some wine on his shirt, and he then swiftly picks her up and carries her to her bed, informing her that he knows that she's not really drunk. With his undeniable charm, he seduces her. The scene then cuts to the next morning. The roommate rushes out of her room, realizing she's late for work. Mr. L advises her to take a day off and rest. For breakfast, she expresses her gratitude to him and he asks her to cook breakfast. Meanwhile, the new character Peng arrives at the door with his new look. Mr. L compliments his spirits and hands him 2 contracts, which Peng Hao signs quickly. Mr. L assigns him his first task and sends him on his way.